We will start today with the elements of music, and we will have a look at rhythm, tempo, pulse, and beat. Now, it's very difficult to explain what music is. It's quite difficult. And the design of a musical composition can be described on several levels. I can talk about the form, or the texture, or the tone color, the harmony, the melody, the dynamics, and the rhythm. Now, the elements of music described below offer you specific terms and concepts that will help you to better understand and describe any kind or style of music, from the classical era to music of today. Now, the first element is rhythm, and this includes the beat, the meter, the tempo, the syncopation, and polyrhythms. Also, ritardando, where I go slower, accelerando, where I go faster. Dynamics, so it's how loud or how soft I play something and whether I go louder or softer. The melody, it describes the melody, the pitch of the melody, the range of the melody from high to low, and the theme. The harmony is the chords, the progression of the chords, the key that I'm in, the tonality, whether it's atonal, polytonal, whether it's major or minor, the consonances and the dissonances of the harmony. The tone color describes the instrument's sound, the register and the range. The texture, whether the music is monophonic, polyphonic, homophonic. The form, whether it's binary, ternary, strophic. So today we're going to look at the first one, rhythm. So the element of time in music I call the rhythm. When you tap your foot to the music, you are keeping the beat or following the structural rhythmical pulse of the music. There are several important aspects of rhythm. The duration. How long is the sound? Is it a minim? Is it a crotchet? Is it a dotted crotchet? The tempo is the speed of the beat of the music. So the beat is that constant pulse that we hear. And it can be described by the number of beats per second. And that's where I use my metronome. So beats per second, if it's 60, it's quite slow. I say adagio. 80 is a little bit faster, andante. Moderato, 96. Allegro, quite fast, 140. And vivace and presto, faster, 175. So those terms are very important. Andante at a walking pace. Adagio or largo is slow. Moderato, allegro, and presto. Meter. When beats are organized into recurring accent patterns, into the bar lines, the result is a recognizable meter. The most common meters are diagrammed below. So I have in 2/4 time 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I have 2 pulses per group. Triple time is my minuet or my waltz, because it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then 4/4 time, my quadruple time, my march, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the same category as rhythm, we have the word syncopation. Very important word. I find that in a lot of world music and popular music is the moment that I put an accent on a note that's not normally loud. So if I'm in 3 time and I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I all of a sudden put the accent on 2 or 3 and I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that is syncopation. Or I have a shorter note and then a longer note. Ta-ta, ta-ta, ta-ta. That is my syncopation. Ritardando means that I go slower. Usually to the end of a composition, I will see the composer asking for retardando, to slow down, accelerando. I know the word from English, accelerate, I speed up. And polyrhythm, poly in biology means more than one, poly. Okay, polyrhythm, I have more than one rhythm. And that I find also a lot in world music, especially African music. So I have more than one rhythm or meter happening the same time. Now we're going to look at your assignment for the week. Now a very important word is the metronome. It's a device, a mechanical or electronic device that produces an audible beat sounding at regular intervals. So it sets the beat. Okay? So if I need to perform 60 beats per minute, that's what I put the metronome on, and it gives me the tempo of 60 beats per minute. And that's quite slow. And if I have to go faster, I just go faster. You see there also 120 beats per minute. That's twice as fast. So that is my metronome. There I see different beat values, longer beat values. That's what we do in our theory. We have the semi-quaver notes there. We have quaver notes there, crotchet notes, minim notes, and semi-breves. So that is my different rhythmical patterns and notes with the beat values. Semi-quaver, quaver, crotchet, minim, semi-breve. But it's not wrong if you take the American way of writing 16th note, 8th note, quarter note, half note, or whole note. So in your assignment, you will see that I asked the question, what is music? It's actually very difficult to answer this because we have lots of different definitions. But work on finding a good definition, and here's an example. It contains the elements of pitch and rhythm and timbre, and it in some ways it's organized or it's framed. So I have a meter. The vast majority of music will contain varieties of these three elements: pitch, rhythm, and sound, timbre. So when you're practicing your instrument, you need to be aware of all three. And here we now come to your first assignment. Find out how others explain the term music and write it in your own words. So what is the meaning of rhythm, pulse, and tempo? So rhythm is the perceptible organization of musical events in time, the long and short of it. So long notes, shorter notes, I have a rhythmical pattern. Rhythm is the different note values grouped together. Duration, how long a sound is or a silence is. So that's rhythm. Sounds good, but what is pulse? And how is it different from rhythm? The pulse is the heartbeat of the music. And it's regular and it's different from my rhythm. So the pulse, if I clap the pulse, it's... And if I now clap an example of rhythm, it's, for instance, it's... So I have different values that I clap. Once we've established the pulse, felt the beat, then the rhythm can take place within and around it. It is such a natural human thing. We sense the pulse and feel the beat, and then we react to it. We tap our feet, we clap our hands, and we nod our heads, and we dance. And lots of things in town or in your house has got a pulse. And I want you to also tell me next week what you found in your house with a pulse. One example is that if I cross the road, I've got that little green walking man flickering. And I now know that it flickers 7 times. And then I have 7 beats to cross the road because that is the amount of time they allow me before it changes back to a red stopping man, not walking anymore. So we have pulse in a lot of electronic things. So when we have beats organized into recurring accent patterns, we have a recognizable meter. For instance, 2 beats per bar. And there we have examples. We have duple meter, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then it's 2/4 time. Triple meter, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Quadruple meter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the moment that I have syncopation, it's offbeat. So between these bold ones, I will put an accent. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then it's offbeat. Okay. Retardando, I go slower. Accelerando, I speed up the tempo. Polyrhythm, I have more than one rhythm happening. The pulse of the music can be super, super fast or super, super slow. Okay, and we call that the tempo. On the metronome, you get your tempo. That's like the speedometer of music. We went through all the basic units of rhythm. I prefer us using the semi-brief, the minim, the crotchet, the quaver, and the semi-quaver because we do a Cambridge examination. Now, in this block, you will see there, I can fill in my rhythm there. I can fill in my pulse there. I'll just change this for you. You can fill in your tempo there. You can fill in your metronome there. The same with the syncopation. Let me just change that, otherwise the numbers will be wrong. Retardando, I can fill in. The accelerando, I can fill in there. And the polyrhythm. So you use your block there to write your answers. Now here, you will see at the end, we have different note values. I want you to start clapping. So you have 2 pages there of examples of different rhythms. So this is now for a group of 2. What I want to do in class is you clap the one and I clap the other one. So this is our lesson today on the first element of music that I call rhythm. Pulse, beat, tempo is included.